Good evening. I'll call the meeting to order at this time. If you will, please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. This time I'll call upon Councilman Dunn, if he will please lead us in the invocation.
Please bow your head and pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together tonight to do the work of the town. And please let us do what's best in the interest of the town. Please keep our employees safe as they travel and make every attempt to keep us safe and to give us the benefits and the items that we've come accustomed to as citizens of the town of Smithfield. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We were talking way in I know. Okay, interesting.
To get going.
All right. All right, gentlemen, you have the agenda. There are a couple of known changes that you should have at your place. One is adding to the consent agenda consideration and request for Jesus Company Ministries church service. And then adding to business items, consideration and request for budget amendment to purchase a police department vehicle, and then consideration of the draft application for the open seat for District 1. Those are the only known changes that I have. Is there anything else? If not, my recommendation is that we add the business items, the consideration and request for the budget amendment as being business item number 1, and then we can discuss the application as 2, and then already on the agenda is the budget session. We'll just move that to 3. Any comments or anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carries. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. We'll now move on. There are no public hearings this evening, so we'll move to our consent agenda. Have a motion? Oh, did I miss citizens' comments? Yep, sorry. Yep, citizens' comments. Sorry. We'll move to citizens' comments now. Anyone wishing to speak during citizens' comments, please come forward at this time. I ask you to please state your name and address for the record, and to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, please. Madam Clerk, I'll ask that you please do the time, please. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. How are y'all doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
My name is Tamara Barber, 35 Bear Oak Drive, Smithfield, North Carolina. And I'm here today out of a plea for the Sarah Yard Center. So, but first I think I need to make you aware of some background information. This is just a rhetorical question. Have any of you ever heard of ACEs, which are adverse childhood experiences, and resilience? So adverse childhood experiences are potentially traumatic events that occur in childhood, such as abuse, neglect, or household dysfunction. And these experiences have lasting impact on the physical health, mental well-being, and behavior outcomes well into adulthood. And resilience is the ability to overcome these adverse childhood experiences by receiving adequate support within the community, external support systems, and the internal strength within the individual. The Sarah Yard Center is a place that holds power to transform lives. How, you might ask? I am the youngest of 8 children, and before there was a Sarah Yard Center, there was a Johnston County Training School gym down in Smithfield. That's where I went as a child, and that's where I received my resilience to overcome adverse childhood experiences. I stand before you here today as a retired 29-year educator who is currently in nursing school at Duke University. Had it not been for Dr. Carolyn Ennis, Ms. Louise Cogdale, Ms. Hazel Sanders, Ms. Williams, I wouldn't be the person standing here today. My mom worked. It was 8 of us. I could have been going around doing anything I wanted to do, but I longed for structure and I longed for something to do. So I went to that gym, not because I had to, because I needed to, for myself. And every day of the summer, these people poured into me. They gave me what I needed and what I didn't have at home to be the person that I am today. That's what I want for the Sarah Yard Center in Smithfield, and it can be that. I'm not here asking for any money. I know you guys have budgeted money for the Sarah Yard Center. What I'm asking you for is to ask us, the community, for help. Because you guys have given money, but now you need the manpower. You need the support. The community is here to support the Sarah Yard Center, but they haven't been asked. Nobody has asked them what can they do to help this place be the place that it was for me before it came to Sarah Yard Center, when Miss Sarah Yard worked at the gym with those other ladies when I was a young child. So as a member, as a resident of District 1 for the longest time, I'm asking you to please reach out to us. We have businesses, we have churches, we have civic organizations ready and waiting to help the Sarah Yard Center be the place it needs to be for our children in District 1. Please, please reach out to us for that help.
Thank you. All right, anyone else wishing to speak during citizens' comments, please come forward at this time. Okay, not seeing any. We'll now move to the consent agenda. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, now move to our first business item. And this is the consideration and request for a budget amendment to purchase a police department vehicle. Chief?
Evening, Council. Appreciate your time. What we're asking is to take existing budget from the Special Investigation Narcotics Division and use this to purchase a vehicle for them. We're currently using a rental vehicle. Cost us approximately about $1,000 a month to maintain that. This way, we can take budget that we already have in this year's budget, and we can prevent being able to do that for the rest of the year. This will be for narcotics unit. We just don't have a vehicle in the fleet that currently fits that niche.
So it's already in the current year budget?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Kind of vehicle?
I think it's in there. We're trying to keep it as low as we can because of the nature of the work it'll do.
Okay.
So we don't have one? I mean, we don't, or is this an additional one?
We have one that's been in the fleet a long time, and I think it's probably fairly well-known. It's mostly used as a surveillance platform now.
Gotcha. Okay. Any other questions for Chief?
You said there's not a, you said there wasn't a vehicle we had currently that would match what that vehicle needs to have. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Something about-
we don't have a vehicle that doesn't look like a police car.
I hear you.
Any other questions for Chief?
I don't know if it's a question, just an observation. I don't know, could you not find something with lower miles? I mean, is that okay? I mean, that's a lot of miles.
I believe the look that we're looking for probably corresponds to a vehicle like that. We did shop around to most of our used car shops. I believe the gentleman we're working now is going to be able to trade that vehicle on in a more rapid fashion. We'll use it for a couple months. When it's been burned and the people that we're looking for know we'll be able to trade this vehicle in. So it's kind of the genre we're going for with that vehicle.
Any issues, Mr. Manager?
Do you ever rent vehicles to do surveillance?
Yes, sir. We're doing that now, but it's expensive.
Okay.
So it would eat up our entire budget for NARCs if we did it every single month. This is, with this existing money left over, we don't have to rent for next year.
Mr. Mayor, I make a recommendation, we approve the request.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Could we also approve the budget amendment that goes with that?
Sure. Yeah, so there's actually a budget amendment, so for this, so we have a motion.
It's just moving money within their own budget, but.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. All right, now we'll move on to our next business item, which was the consideration of the draft application for the District 1 council seat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In front of you this evening is a draft application form that could be used to seek interested parties in filling the vacant seat that was left by Councilman Lee. It's very basic. There's some interesting, there's some pertinent questions there that, you know, they would be required to answer. But they're questions that people would expect to have to answer if they're applying for such a position. The forms would all be considered, once they're turned in, they'd be considered public information. They'd be available to the public, so people would need to realize that. This form is not invented by itself. I researched over half a dozen communities that had the same situation, had to fill a vacant seat for one reason or another. Pulled all that they had and put it in here, the best of every application. So it's not overly long. It wouldn't take a long time to fill out, but it would help the council to identify people of interest that they might have in filling the seat. As a side note, the council is required to fill the seat. We cannot have a special election. Our charter does not allow that. State law also does not allow that. You really cannot wait until the election in November to let the election fill the seat. Your charter says that you shall fill the seat, and if you wait until the election fills the seat, then you're not filling the seat. So I think the council has the responsibility and the legal obligation to fill the seat in some form or fashion. The most common beginning of filling a vacant seat is taking applications. Having said that, it would be my vision that you would also have a process following the applications that would follow that. That process could look a lot of different ways, but it would help the council to eventually narrow down and vote on someone to fill the seat. I would envision that if the council can come to some consensus on the application and the application process, that at the next meeting in July 1, we would have the discussion about the process and come to a consensus on that, and then you would be able to start seeking applications to fill the seat. But I think it's important that the application and the process be articulated for the public so that everybody knows what the rules are from the beginning and they're not going to change later down the line. I mean, that's the transparency I think we all promised, and so we need to take it seriously and make sure it's what we want, because once we decide this is the process we're going to use, this is the application we're going to use, shouldn't be changed down the line.
All right. So you guys have the application. Any comments or thoughts on it? If not, entertain a motion one way to approve it.
I did have one quick question.
Sure.
This is the same one you emailed us
It is.
earlier, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
Male or female, anything like that?
What's that?
All right. You may
May
have a
may I have
motion
a
or
few
anything?
comments on this? I'd like to thank you and the manager for bringing this before the council. I think it's important that we get this process narrowed down. My bigger concern is not necessarily the application, but it's the interview process, what that looks like, and having a timeline to make that happen. But as far as the specific questions that I see here, it seems relevant. Some of it may not be relevant. If somebody's retired and stuff, it talks about, some of their employment and stuff. But however, I think the other thing that we need to think about is what questions we could ask in an interview that would be appropriate, and I guess that would be something that we have to think about after we get this done, so.
Yep, absolutely. That's kind of what I was thinking, Councilman Scott. And to your point is, let's decide on the application, and that we want to do the application. Let's get that, and then over the next couple of weeks, before the next meeting, start thinking about the process, how the process looks, and if, to your point, the interview process, we need to start formulating thoughts on that as well. Yeah, 100% agree. So if everybody's good with it, we'll entertain a motion on the application.
Make a motion to approve the application.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Mayor, with
motion
that,
carries.
having
Thank you.
taken care of that, are we going to talk about a timeline of how long we would receive applications?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking Mike could put together for us as a draft and get that and seek some input. And then at the next meeting, then we come together and kind of follow this same process, right? And the next meeting, we come together, we discuss that, agree upon it, and then set that, set that in motion.
Okay.
As well. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, now we'll move now to budget discussions.
Mr. Mayor, if I can make a suggestion, I would like to actually schedule another budget session for this topic, preferably next week, if we could, if that would please you and the council.
Sure.
I'd like to see it possibly a Tuesday or Thursday of next week.
I'm available, I'm available Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, I'm available Tuesday or Thursday.
Tuesday's actually better for me.
Tuesday's fine with me.
Are you saying you leave early tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what he's saying, Councilman Stevens.
24th or the
I was betting
26th?
on 9, I'm gonna lose that one, who was that?
24, 26, so you're talking about?
24th or 26th, yeah. I would say we would look at Tuesday. If we had to meet again on Thursday, we could do so, but I don't think we'd have to.
Okay.
If that would please the mayor.
Better for me, I got early Friday, Tuesday.
Sir,
Does that work?
does that work?
Tuesday work?
Tuesday, 24th,
That work for you?
Councilman Scott.
I can do Tuesday. I'm not available Thursday.
Let's do it Tuesday.
But we did this last week, and weren't able to get a date picked, so, I mean, I'd love for us to talk about some priorities, but if needs to wait to that session, so be it.
I'd prefer to wait, to discuss everything in that session. Mr. Manager, you okay with that?
Am I okay with Tuesday?
Yes.
Question?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Madam Clerk? Okay.
Looks like everybody's good for Tuesday.
He
We'll
did
make
go
that.
for it.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion
I'm
that
not
we,
different.
well,
How much
do we lack
as far as?
we would recess this meeting at the end of our
And then
end of our manager's comments and council comments to Tuesday, June 24th, to discuss the remaining budget issues we have or budget opportunities we have.
6 o'clock or
At
6:30?
6:30.
Does that work? Okay. All right. You made a motion, was that
I
a
have a
motion?
motion, yes, that was a
Okay.
motion.
All right, so I got a motion and a second to recess this meeting at the end of the agenda to Tuesday, the 24th at 6:30. I have a second?
So are we adjourning after that, or are we gonna talk about stuff tonight?
No, we got a couple more just reports and our manager's report, and then we'll adjourn.
So do I have a second on that date?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Mayor, if I may, I would just like to ask the manager, I sent him an email, Rick, and I've got some records here, maybe appropriate, the clerk to get for you guys if y'all are interested, but it's about the electric rate. I just wanted to see if he could have, since we're going to meet at that time, I'd love for us to discuss that further, if we're not going to do it tonight.
Discuss that Tuesday night, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
that's fine,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that's appropriate. I mean,
yeah. Yeah,
it's-
absolutely. No, I think that's part of the budget.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what
it is.
Absolutely. No, I 100% agree,
But,
yeah. No, that'd be fine. Yep. Yep. All right. We'll now move to council members' comments. When wishing to speak, council members' comments? So I will say, if there's anybody have any comments? Okay. I was giving you guys the opportunity first, but did want to say that, just wanted to make a comment on quite a few business openings recently in the town of Smithfield. And just to name a few that have occurred over the last 2 weeks, we've had several openings, grand openings in town. One being the new car wash out across from Sheetz, Sud Stop. The Home 2 Suites also opened up as well, grand opening. First Choice Home Care in downtown Smithfield also opened as well. And then the Chicken Salad Chick in the old Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue building on 301 North also opened this week, having a grand opening tomorrow officially. But just wanted to say along with that, just the economic impact that comes along with that, not only in the buildings themselves, the tax values that it's creating for our town, but also the personal property that goes along with that, as well as the sales tax. But also from an economic development standpoint, as far as employment, just to give just high-level numbers, Sud Stop plans to employ, or it has employed 10 people. First Choice Home Care has employed 14. Home 2 Suites, 12. And this was very surprising to me. The Chicken Salad Chick, 60 people. So almost 100 people have been employed by those few businesses in just the last 2 weeks in Smithfield. So I just think that's a pretty good statistic. And I got these numbers from the Chamber of Commerce, as well as speaking to the actual general manager of Chicken Salad Chick last night as well. So roughly about 100 people just between those businesses. And that's not all of them. That's recently opened. So just thought I would share that. So to those people that are listening and to those people that are in the audience, I encourage you to go and, to frequent those businesses and, show them our support as a community, because those are some of the things that are coming to Smithfield. So I encourage you all to show your support. That's all that I have. Friday night, we got band downtown, Liquid Pleasure, is that right? Mm-hmm. So should be an outstanding concert. I hadn't heard Liquid Pleasure in a long time, so they're great band. So come on out this Friday night.
Do we have ribbon cutting for Chick Salad Chick
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
10?
I think it's 10 o'clock.
You want-
Yeah, if you don't, yeah, if you don't mind, that's fine. Yes, sir. Mr. Manager, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
All right. Speaking of the Chick Salad Chick opening, they are having a ribbon cutting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Everyone is invited.
Is it? Oh, okay, sorry. I'm glad.
Feel free to stop in there and, for the ribbon cutting. More the merrier for those kind of events to show support. Let's see. I did want to point out to the public that Outlet Center Drive is under reconstruction, and it is being completed at night. They usually start about 7 p.m. and go till about 5 in the morning. So I've had some people call me wanting to know, well, why aren't they out there? Why aren't they working? Well, they are working. They're just working at night, so it doesn't disrupt the traveling public, and also is safer for their employees. So, besides the River Jam concert on Friday, we do have the Juneteenth celebration at Smith Collins Park on Saturday. So please participate in that. And then if you want to watch some really good baseball, we got 53 teams competing right now at Community Park, junior baseball, where the real bats hit the balls instead of the pros. So go out there and enjoy yourself and watch the kids play. They'd really appreciate it.
Awesome. Outstanding.
That's it.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, I think that is it, that's all we have this evening. The motion to recess to Tuesday night, the 24th at 6:30.
I'll make a motion to recess till 6:30 Tuesday night, June 24th.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. We'll stand in recess.